I'm playing this, I want to, I mean, it's obvious what you're seeing here, okay? It could be a double pane, it could be all kinds of different things, but listen to this testimony from, I'm not going to say where, because I don't want the possibility of this person getting in trouble, okay? But let's just say this is a customer service individual in the eastern part of the United States. And they're working in a hotel, and they had a conversation with a former government official who's transitioning to a new job in DC and was blown through the hotel. And this is the hotel manager who wrote to me. Okay. Well, to make a long story short, they hit it off. Like many people that work in the hotel services industry, they're really good at getting people to talk and to share their lives story. And they started talking about the weather, and then this individual, the hotel manager, and then this former government official that's moving into a new government job in DC told him all kinds of things that they found out and what he was cleared to know. He said he had talked to colonels, NSA officials, and even chemtrail pilots, who get paid as much as Air Force One pilots, by the way, and how they know about the stellar cores by the sun. Right? He knew exactly what they were and how they make connections to the sun and how the government is hiding it. He said that his new job is very important, and if it did hit the fan, they're going to go into an armory where they'll be behind gates and guards. There's so much more that this guy's telling me. I'm going to talk to this individual more about this encounter that they had with a former, or now going into a new job, government official, that they could confirm, in this personal conversation and dialogue what they knew, but they're hiding it, and they're worried about possible outcomes, as you might imagine, right? So just let this picture fit with that testimony. Let's take it now. I want to take you over to some pictures that I got. Anyway, so here it is. More evidence of an object near the sun, of an object or parts of a lens array concealing the object, and but this one is interesting, guys, for an obvious reason. If you've been around this community very long, you know that the red thing with a hole in it is something that we look at quite a bit. And this is a corroborating photograph here from yesterday, what we saw in FAA cams. So we see this kind of oval-shaped object all the time, and we certainly see this red orb with a hole in it. And yeah, come on, guys, lens flare, really? Honestly, man, do you really think that you're effective when you come in here and say that this is a lens flare? Whatever. Next picture I wanted to take you to, and this is something that we've been observing quite a bit in Australia. This happened last spring as well, and I'm going to take you guys to some, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But anyway, we got this huge shadow that we've seen in Bondi Beach, Australia now for 2 years that happens around this time of the year in the spring. And at the same time in Macquarie Island, Australia, same approximate time, we got a huge shadow there as well. So again, this is something that's cyclical. It happens in the spring. And we're going to talk about the spring a little bit here in just a minute. And then here's another unbelievable picture. This one from Buchs Airport. Again, East Roadway 24. Check it out. We got this very strange, again, the three orbs, right? Seeing it everywhere that we look. The next thing I wanted to take you to, though, was just fresh this morning. This comes from Charlotte, North Carolina. We have a subscriber that has some folks in the hospital there, and they have an 11th floor room looking out to the north. So what we're looking at is north, and I think it is like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning there at this time, right? What do we see in this picture on the north? We see 3 dots. 1, 2, 3 in a row, and we see a very bright light. Well, my first impression was, that's the moon. That's just the moon, man. And so as this subscriber did a little bit more research for me, they went and found that the moon was at 2.6% waxing crescent. So I suppose it could make that light, but here's the problem, guys. The moon should be nowhere in the sky right now. The moon is not even raised yet. Let me show you on Solar System Scope. So when we see these bright lights out there, it makes us wonder what they are. It's not those clear photographs that we get all the time, but if you look to the north, you'll see there is no moon.
This is the object. It's a still shot of the object that I picked up from the northeast skies. Now, before the sunrise, I believe that this heavenly body is behind the sun because it's lit up, it's bright, it's reflecting. It's got like a red haze behind it and a yellow glow in front of it. Now, I'm going to show you some still shots as well, because I'm going to roll the camera and I will play the raw footage. It's very short and then it disappears. So indeed it's worth a look, isn't it? Anything that's out there that's different and strange is just a worth to record these images. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to roll the video footage, okay, just to show you what was caught. As you can see, it's going down the screen. If I just reverse this, this is what I caught this morning. Just roll the camera back again. Something there, isn't it? So I'm going to now just play the video just to get a shot of this again. Let me just play this for you. Okay, there's the raw edit just as it's moving it across. You can see this, can't you? It's going across now. Here's the other video footage as well. You can see the red area as well on the sensor. Let me just here is the other part of the video as well. You can see it moving just. There's a clear shot of that with a red reflection behind it. Okay, what I've done is I've paused the video and I'm going to move it across the screen. I'm going to rotate it across the screen to show you that this object does actually move. There's many objects out there that are moving now. If I just roll it back, that is quite huge, isn't it? I mean, I can't give a size or a distance how far that object is. But what I can tell you now, that object is at the backside of the sun. It's lighting up because as the sun rises, it disappears. Now, I've checked the solar charts, and to the northeast skies, I can't see much of anything that should be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check something here for you. Okay, now we're with the solar chart this morning at the same timestamp. What we can see is the Earth, the Sun. We can see Mars to the far right hand side. What we're looking at, though, that is, to be very clear, is the asteroid belt in the distance. But to where I was pointing the camera to that object was to the area of the northeast. Now, to this side here, we look gently just around towards this area. I picked up this object around about here. Now, it clearly shows there's nothing there. We've got Venus there, we've got Mars. Could have been Jupiter, could have been anything, as I state. It could have been just another celestial body that's known to us in our solar system. But again, just picking up things is very, very important. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go back to that object that I spotted as well, because again, I just find it very, very important. Just wanted to show you this as well quickly, that Mercury is behind the backside of the sun. You can see the reflections. You can see where the celestial body should be on this date, 25th of February. So indeed, these are covered up. Mars is too far to the right hand side. Going to the next clip on this chart as well, you've got Jupiter that's to the far area to the right hand side. To the view that we were looking at here, Sirius is far behind us. So indeed, these heavenly bodies now are in different areas of what I spotted. Can you see the shadows? This is where the known celestial bodies are in our solar system. Just to give you another view as well, we've got Saturn far to the right hand side here. We were looking around here. This area is clear. Is it something that's come through the Kuiper belt? Because it's moving on the video. Now, Saturn wouldn't be moving that quickly, nor would Mars and the other celestial bodies. But again, it could be explainable. So that's, again, just have a look at these different images from the footage. Okay, now I'm going to now show you the still pictures. This is Blue Bonnet because again it's being picked up to the northeast. On the video as well, if you notice when this object appears and it does move, I see it move, okay? You can see stars in the background. There's 3 of them to the right hand side. Now that object is quite worrying. It's quite big, isn't it? And it's out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the camera like I just did earlier on, just to show you the different movements of this object. Can you see how it's going across the screen? Now the tripod isn't moving at all. It's just picking up the object. Now what I did was I left the camcorder on all night. I always keep it on in the northeast skies. I'm here in the northern hemisphere, and I went back to the recording. I was absolutely amazed to catch this. So indeed it does look very, very strange, doesn't it? There is the colours, there's the glow. I believe it's reflecting from the backside of the sun. There's other stars that are showing in the background as well. I do get people that states no stars. You're pointing a laser in the sky. Now I haven't got no laser, and indeed sometimes when you do record images up there in the heavens, when it's pitch black, when zooming in, the stars do disappear. It's just a fact where the images and videos that you produce just get very dark in the area when zooming into an object. This is what happens. Let me just show you a few more clippings of this image that I picked up. Okay, on this next still shot there's 3 objects. You can see the main object just below, but above there you've got another red object and a star or something else. It is indeed, again, whatever is being picked up has to be produced onto footage, because you can see clearly there is 3 objects on the screen there. When moving the camera to the next image as well, the still shot, behind this object again, you're picking still up these objects. Can you see there's 3 here, and the main celestial body that's down there at the bottom of the photograph. Just showing you again that object, that red object behind it there, is indeed with this object, or is it something else? It's very questionable, isn't it? Very debatable to what we're seeing. Here we have another still shot as well. Now there is a blue object behind it. Can you see just to the far left hand side? Is that the blue Kachina? Or is it something else? Because when videoing these objects, you can actually zoom into these as well and notice that they travel with these celestial bodies. Here is another still shot as well. You've got the blue celestial object that's to the left hand side. Could be just behind this object, and again you've got the celestial body just below. I'm just going through the different still shots just to show you as well that I'm picking up something else that's the other side, to the left side of the screen, out there, that was picked up. That blue celestial object again with this other large body that was picked up on the cam this morning. Okay, now what I've done is as well, looking at this as well, I'm going to zoom into these celestial bodies, these objects that were out there. There's a red and a blue one just to the upper left hand side, as picking up this celestial body just below. Let me zoom into these. Okay, now I'm hoping it's not too dark to see them 2 celestial objects. They were indeed out there, they were picked up as well. But again, it could be anything, but they do seem to travel with this celestial body, because when I'm videoing this object that's moving to the northeast before the sunrise, these 2 objects are moving with it. Okay, now with this system on this elliptical orbit, and looking at these images, do seem very strange, because now as I videoed the celestial body, few moments later you can see it moving across the screen again. these other celestial objects behind it seem to be rotating. Can you see now, like on the other image, they were quite straight, weren't they? But now the red object behind is moving directly downwards to the 1 o'clock position, while the blue object is staying there as the other larger object is moving down. Now again, this other solar system that is tilting our solar system, tilting our sun, is and does cause a different rotation in their system. So again, it's just very interesting to pick up these images. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now, I'm going to sort out lots of photographs that have been sent in by members of our community showing the differences in our skies, because again, they are heavily chemtrailing. Here this morning, there's far too many lines in the skies. And I want to talk about the temperatures as well, because the temperatures are dropping drastically. For these past couple of months, it gets very, very cold, and then when they do chemtrail to cover the area of the sun, the temperatures start to rise. Now, with objects in our system, our solar system, that's affecting and heating up other planets, because again, global warming is a hoax, because other celestial bodies are heating up, there's evidence of this. But indeed now, are they cooling down at drastic rates because of our Earth is, and the temperatures are changing drastically. We can see this now, we can feel the temperatures changing, and it's important to remember this as well, as we do still see that red haze in the sky. Now, with the red haze, we are seeing it like clockwork. Okay, we see that pink haze cutting through like clockwork. Now, no chemplane can do that, spraying red spray in the skies like clockwork. They're just aeroplanes, okay? So something else is beaming through that's very red out there in our solar system.
The first thing I want to take you to is a individual who was introduced to me today, Xavier Svint, from I believe this is in Brazil. This is a video that he just took on the 19th. Now I would expect to see this phenomenon directly from South America. Now check this out. Coincidence? That's right where I would expect to see it, guys. In the southern hemisphere right now. Now just wait a second, he's going to put a welding glass or some kind of a filter over it. These obviously are flares. This is not a flare. Watch. Usually welding glasses don't work for this because the object isn't bright enough. But in this case, my friends, it is, as you can see, bright enough. Still there. Welding glasses on. Why are they chemtrailing right now, huh? Next thing I want to take you to is the Davis Davis Skycam for today's picture. I was a skeptic too. This is the one that got me, man. When I saw the South Davis webcam for the first time in December, that's when I started making videos. Today I'm going to show you what happened today on the 21st of January. You can see that they're trying to chemtrail it. There's the circle still there. Now, people that are saying that this triangle is some kind of a lens guts, it's behind the clouds, guys. It's not lens guts. This isn't a scratch in the flare because it moves around the screen. Watch. Have you ever seen a scratch move across the screen? That's an object in the solar system coming towards us, you guys. It's getting closer. And I'm not telling you because I'm a fearmonger. I'm telling you so that you have a chance to prepare yourself so you're not made a slave when they try to bring order from chaos. Last thing I want to go through are images from the last couple of days. I've just been collecting image after image after image. And so I just want to take you through just a walk through the images I've collected, the best ones. I have hundreds more. Here's the South Davis again. This was a little earlier in the week where you could actually see the, see the triangle behind the clouds. Here's now what's making these particular images interesting is usually you've seen me show these from South America. This either reflection or actual I think it's more likely it's some type of reflection, but of the phenomenon of the red dot and other phenomenon, what makes this interesting is the images we're collecting now are at night in the United States, which is the first time. Here's Evergreen, Colorado. Here's Georgia. Here's Bryan, Texas. I forget this one. I think this is Winter Haven again. Oh, no, that was in Colorado. This one's in Central Texas, all from the 20th and the 19th. This one freaked me out, man. This big red cloud in Anchorage, Alaska. At first I thought it might have been Aurora Borealis, but obviously that's red cloud matter. Evergreen, Colorado. Here's one from just a cross section that shows the phenomenon in Colorado again, only this time showing it in the side view. Here's New Mexico, 20th. I forget where this is. It's somewhere on the East Coast. All United States, by the way. Arizona. Arizona. Here might be the light emitting source. I don't know. But this phenomenon is showing up just like we saw in South America. Here's a 3-ball light that we saw I believe this is in Ohio. Here's a picture where we actually saw the other object above it. This is in North America. I believe this is from my friend Teresa Caldwell. This is just a little phenomenon I saw happening the other day. Quasar at night now, we're seeing the phenomenon. And here's the beginning of the space images that we talked about before. Here's a red cloud that we see every night now in Germany in certain sky cams where we actually see a red glow. This one freaks me out. This is again Teresa Caldwell, but she did a little bit of adjustment on this photo, I admit. But what it did was it brought out this strange appearance of the sky and the clouds. It's just not normal, man. That's just not normal. Townley Observatory, same phenomenon. My good old webcams, but what I thought was interesting about this is not necessarily the black dot, the reflection of the black dot, but here we are with the plume again, the reflection or the lens flare. This one I thought was interesting because it actually showed it on the image at 2100, and this would be off the East Coast somewhere. But this you don't see the lens flare show up on this part of it, guys. Okay, it just doesn't happen. And then this is somewhere in the mountains in the United States on January 20th. Here's Overgard, Arizona. Here's Post Observatory, Mayhill, New Mexico. In this one, we're seeing the little dot, and that looks like a cloud in the lenticular structure. But again, we're seeing this large expression of what I believe to be wormwood, either reflection or direct. Carrizo, New Mexico, same thing. Albury, California, saw the phenomenon again here and here. Not a good one in Boulder, but what I thought was interesting is we had some streaking and things like that going on in the imagery. This one blew my mind because if you look at past videos, I actually see the pattern of this planet. There should be a blue one up here somewhere. But this orbiting either pulsar or star, whatever that is, or planet, and the one behind it, that's a pattern that we've been seeing a lot of sky cams. This one's just interesting because it's so bright. And then we're back to the Davis sky cams again. Winter Haven, Florida, etc.
Is the SPT telescope that's tracking the Nibiru system. There won't be much of mini chemtrails over in the South Pole because this is what they're doing right now to this very hour. So now I'm going to show you an image of the typical skies from higher populated areas across our world. Here is a typical sighting of the skies of today. It is so clear and evident that this is indeed a cover-up. Can you see that chemtrail, that shadow to the right side, and reflections from that lens that they're using, that technology above our Earth's atmosphere to cover up the Nibiru system? They do not want anybody to look at this. So this is what they do. This is a typical chemtrail. As the pilot sprays the area of the skies, turns the chemicals off, and then restarts and turns them on again, leaving gaps in the skies, manipulating our cloud systems and our atmosphere. You can see clearly on this chem plane 6 nozzles for the chemtrails and 4 engines. Looking closely as well, you can see where they're spraying from the nozzles. This is happening again every single day, covering our skies, and they are getting away with this. We get many emails come through as well of reports of fake chemtrail planes, holographic, chem drones, other technology that's being used, spread across the skies. You can see these. If you look on our horizons, you can clearly see these strange different colours of smoke, chemicals that are being produced to make more thickness of the sky across where we see the sun. Here is a typical image of our skies today. We are seeing again the white sun. Many chemical lines. Strange formations in these chemtrails. I mean, look at the HAARP cloud system. They are using HAARP on full power. When we see those chemtrails early hours of the morning, and then through the lunchtime skies, it becomes a complete haze, just blocking out the evidence of those celestial bodies that would be seen by many, many people. But they do manipulate the skies using HAARP. This system again, this fake cloud system, moves closer to cover up the truth. On the screen is a typical HAARP cloud, as they use towers to control the fake cloud systems as well. Still, the powers that be are controlling the weather channels, stating that everything is okay. Just a normal day, a few showers, and not to worry about anything. Then we look at the true weather patterns that are happening right across the world right now to this day, as the jet stream is absolutely finished. It's slowed right down. There is no constant flow like it was in the past years. Here is an early diagram of the jet stream discovered in the 1940s, can be found in the upper troposphere. Strong high speeds and high pressure moves west to east across the US, moving storms. Can you see on the diagram as well the polar stream and the subtropical area as well? It is a constant smooth flow. And right to this moment, to this day, to this month, 2018, it's like this. It's broken up. It's finished. It's not a constant flow anymore. The North Pole is melting away. We're seeing strange weather patterns. Every day there is going to be a difference. This is why they chemtrail as well. Our Earth is being affected seriously by this incoming system. So as the jet stream has lost control, this is what they're doing, trying to manipulate the weather patterns. We're seeing far too much of this now. In the past 24 hours, we're still getting a build-up of earthquakes, like the 5.4 in Africa, 4.5 in the USA. I mean, it continues all across the world, and it will carry on continuing as our Earth's magnetic field is being affected by the Nibiru system. Another serious situation is wildlife across the world is being hugely affected by these chemtrails, all these chemicals being pumped into our atmosphere, all because they want to hide the truth. From looking down towards our Earth, this is what the skies are like today. Many chem lines being sprayed. Still, they serve the members of the public across the world, these devices, and these devices are just there to distract the people from looking up to the heavens. Yes, you've guessed it. Chemicals, chem lines in the skies, different colours beaming off the area that we see of this simulator, this sun that's behind it, showing the truth, showing the different reflections. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now produce more images as well, coming in right now to this hour, showing the truth by these fantastic people in our community. Here we have an image that's come in from Iris Turner from Florida. I'm going to zoom in and show you this image. What we're seeing here again is a typical chemtrail that's in the center of the screen. Let me just zoom in closer for you for this as well. Get this sorted. What we're seeing here again is chem lines. These are not natural. These have just come in. So again, in Florida, they are spraying the skies very heavily. Can you see again this reflector? Look at the shape of this. They don't want you to see this. They don't want you to see the different colours. It's far too bright on the screen here. Here we go again. We've got the typical chemtrail. We've got the strange reflection that's above the area, again, from the reflector. Chem lines. Everything on the screen is just poison. It's not natural. It's not good for any of us. When you look at the photograph again in detail, you can see the dimming that's going on. The natural sun is behind this. You're starting to see that red haze. And also, with the cloud systems, they're being pushed to one side. The reflection is wrong as well. It's fluorescent. Even on the ground, where Iris lives, in Florida, you can see that dark shadow. She's collecting these photographs daily to produce, to show you exactly what's going on. And indeed, it is serious, isn't it? Because something that's not being said by media is very, very serious. They don't want you to see or look up to this truth. Let me move to now Iris's next photo. Here we have the next image that's come in again from Florida. Now look in detail with this photograph, okay? Look on the ground, look at the grass, the trees, even the road. The reflection is wrong from this object in our skies. It is not our sun. Our sun would produce a golden reflection, a natural colour reflection in the skies. Beaming down to the ground, you can see a number of chemtrails being sprayed, one in the centre of the screen, one to the right. And what I was looking at in detail was this red haze around the area that we see the reflector just above, reflecting on those strange formations. That red colour is coming through from the Nibiru system. Look again on the horizon to the right side. You're seeing those lowered cloud formations. The natural clouds are not doing anything. They're not protecting us. From when you look at those clouds on the horizons, think back to the 1980s. You remember that those cloud formations were in front of the natural sun. This proves as well that our sun is in deep trouble. It's acting very strange. It's dimming. It's darkening. Without the reflector, we would just see a very dark sky all through the day. And then people would straight away, without a shadow of a doubt, wake up to the truth. On the next photograph that's just recently come in, I'm going to show you this lower cloud formation. It is important to see this because our sun in the past, again, when you see those cloud formations on the screen to the right hand side, they should be in the area covering our natural sun, but indeed they're not. Now, this system that's out there in our solar system is affecting our Earth's magnetic field. Let me zoom in to have a look round on this photograph as well, because I find this to be very interesting too. Looking down here, we can see loads of chemtrails, chem lines in the skies. Here is our natural cloud formations. But when this dimming occurs, which I've spoke about in the past as well, just like on Iris's photos, look again. This cloud formation should be white and bright with a slight golden haze from the natural sun. But what we're seeing is a dimming, a dark sky showing this dark cloud system. It's not natural what we're seeing here on the screen. Going here also, we're seeing formations, chem formations, a pink haze, but also this reflector that's beaming the wrong colour. It's happening every place right now, even through the UK as well. We're seeing this happening. Many people are now emailing from the UK explaining that they are looking up and they are taking notice and watching the channel and seeing these big differences. Everybody in our community knows what's going on. This is the last attachment from Iris. Look at those strange formations in the skies. Here we have, to the right hand side, the reflector. Those chemtrails again make the reflector beam a lot stronger when those chemicals react to the light sources up there. Look at the left side, we've got a pink haze. Everything on the screen again is unnatural. When you look down to the ground, to our Earth, where we live, we would like then to also see the blue sky, the yellow sun, and normal cloud formations. So with these photos, this is just showing the truth that this agenda is still carrying on. Okay, now I've just had an email as well that came in 8 hours ago at 3:07 p.m. from Florida. It states as well, does any of this look normal? Large dark shadows. Now I'm going to now show you these attachments because again, this is very important. Okay, on the first attachment, it all looks normal, but indeed it isn't. We've got to look through the cloud system and notice what they've been doing above. Let's just check this out here on the photograph. If we zoom in, we are starting to see what is going on. Can you see the chemtrails? Can you see these strange formations in the sky again? Chemicals. Everything here. We've got the chemical lines, chemtrails here as well. I mean, it's all again just above the cloud systems being sprayed heavily. Just another huge cover up of the skies. Let's just zoom out on this as well. We go back out. There's lots of things going on here on the photograph, isn't there? Please observe the skies. Now, what you're seeing as well is a dark shadow, just here. Can you see the blue skies here, and down here and here? We've got a dark shadow that's being covered up. They are spraying the skies. I mean, look at this. Just zoom in for you one more time. Looking at the skies again. Here we go. Here it is. The dark shadow. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to another photograph. Okay, with this next photograph that's come in, we can see what's happening, can't we? There is strange formations up in the heavens. To the right hand side, you're seeing the simulator. Look at the dark shadow to the left side. On the buildings just below as well, you can see this white dark dimming of the area that we're seeing of this reflector again. All the photos are just showing the truth. I mean, look again, look at these chem lines in the skies. Every single day it's a cover up. Like I said just earlier on the video, the news media, the weather channels are still saying that everything is normal. But again, when you look at the photographs that have just come in very recently from Florida, it is indeed not normal. Look at the dark shadow above on this photo. To the right side, you've got that pink haze cutting through. You've got the reflector, the area that we see of the sun. The yellow sun that was there before many years ago has now changed its colour. On the photograph here as well, something is going on. Look straight at the area that we believe to be the sun. Can you see that pink colour reflecting through on that cloud formation? Look at the dark shadows, chemtrails above as well. It is totally a big cover up. Now, I've got many more photos that are going to come through on another video.